We're constantly being bombarded with information about heavy metals, undesirable substances in our food, and how they impact our health.
These messages are confusing, but we're here to break it down and explain the basics of arsenic.
The word gets tossed around often, but what is arsenic?
Simply put, arsenic is just an element. It's found in the environment both naturally occurring, but also due to human contamination. Believe it or not, arsenic is found almost everywhere. It's found in air, in food, in soil, in water, and even a tiny amount in our own bodies.
This is not necessarily a problem, since it's usually found at low levels. But what complicates matters is that there are loads of different types of arsenic. To distinguish between these different types, scientists use a fancy kind of chemistry called arsenic speciation. To simplify, arsenic is often grouped into two categories: organic arsenic and inorganic arsenic. The inorganic type is very toxic, while the organic types generally pose less risk of health problems.
While there are generally no immediate physical effects of arsenic consumption in food, too much of the toxic types can cause long-term health problems, such as cancer.
If we take a look at the total amount of arsenic in a few food groups, we can see that fish and seaweed contain high amounts of arsenic compared to the other food groups.
But even if fish contains more arsenic, it doesn't mean it contains a lot of the toxic arsenic. And it's not just about how much of the bad arsenic is in the food, but also, just as importantly, how much of the food you eat. There's very little arsenic in dairy or in grains such as flour. However, the average European consumer eats a lot of these food products.
So, if you're worried about headlines stating that there's arsenic in your rice, don't panic.
Eating rice and rice-based products a few times a week is fine. But eating 3 bowls of rice every day with rice crackers for dessert could be a reason for concern. Parents today are advised against using rice milk as a substitute for milk for children with allergies and should not give infants rice porridge or rice-based food exclusively as their main source of first food.
Now, you can't avoid arsenic, but what should not be forgotten is the nutritional benefit of food, which often outweighs any negative impact from rice, fish, seafood, fruits, or vegetables. The best advice we can give you today is to eat a varied diet. Mix up the grains you eat, be conscious of the rice intake for small children, and don't eat a bucket of seaweed daily.
And finally, it's not about what you eat, but how much and how often you eat it.
Exactly. And if you want to learn more about arsenic, click on the links below.